So welcome back. In previous lecture we have seen the why we should use the approximate methods. Okay, so because there is a limitation of electron repulsion and which generally not considered for obtaining the wave functions. Okay, so this approximate methods will involve the wave function for the two electron system or the more than two electron any electron system. Okay, so for obtaining the solution for two electron system, we will consider the system as a one electron. We solve the system for one electron, and again we will extend our result for the second electron. Okay, so which type of procedure that we will follow, we can see by the stepwise explanation for this approximate methods. Okay, so in the case of one electron system, the wave mechanical treatment will provide the information about the electronic probability distribution around the nucleus. So these are the conclusion we have made for the one electron system. Okay, so for one electron system we have already obtained the wave function as well as their energy. Okay, so the energy takes when electron is present in the different orbitals. So it is therefore expected that similar treatment can be used for the two electron or the multi electron system, but it is not so simple, because for obtaining the one electron solution we have to like solve the 6 variables. Okay, so for this we'll have to solve the 9 variables, so it is becomes quite difficult. So the wave function which has become like quite difficult. So for such system we will use this approximate methods are developed so as to overcome this difficulty. Okay, and the main reason for using this approximate method is what? Because the repulsion between electron and electron. Okay, so how will you use that? So for that we will consider the Hamiltonian for the two electron system. So overall Hamiltonian, which is what? The Hamiltonian for overall system is the combination of Hamiltonian operator, that is total energy content of first electron plus total energy content of second electron. Okay, so where H0 is what? Zero order Hamiltonian, which is the overall energy of a system. H1 and H2 is what? The two hydrogen atom Hamiltonian for electron 1 and electron 2. So for the given system the eigenfunctions are what? Psi 0 is equals to what? Phi 1 into phi 2, where phi 1 is corresponds to the wave equation of first electron, phi 2 is the wave equation for the second electron, and E1 is the energy of first electron and E2 is the energy of second electron. Okay, so this E1 or E2 are the eigenvalues for the eigen functions, that is phi 1 and phi 2, operated by Hamiltonian operator H1 and H2. Okay, so the equation 2 and equation 3 are the wave equation, overall wave equation and overall energy of a system. Okay, so by using this above equation into the standard equation, we can substitute that h cap of 0 psi is equals to what? H1 plus H2 of phi 1 into phi 2. So first we have to operate this H1 on these two functions. Okay, but this H1 operating on this and H2 operating on this is nothing but what? E1 and E2, because these are the eigen values of a given functions. So we can overall say that this E1 plus E2 into phi 1 into phi 2. Okay, so this E1 plus E2 is nothing but eigen value of the overall wave equation, which is nothing but the energy of a given system. Okay, so thus the two electron problem can be reduced to the one electron atom, and it is called as a independent electron model. Okay, so this type of method is used for obtaining the solution of multi electron system. So how we can actually write the wave equation for the multi electron system? So we will take the example of helium atom. So for helium atom, the system will consisting of what? One nucleus and two electron revolving around it. Okay, so suppose this is my helium atom containing nucleus at a center, and one electron is here, another one electron is here. Okay, so for I am assuming certain things like from nucleus to the first electron, the distance is r1. From nucleus to the second electron, the distance is r2, and the electron distance is r12. Okay, so such type of system is there where the distance between first electron and nucleus is assumed to be r1. The distance between second electron and nucleus is assumed to be the r2, and the distance between two electron is assumed to be the r12. Okay, so the potential energy, by using this Coulomb's law, we can write like potential energy is what, minus Zd square upon r1, and the sign minus is due to decrease in the overall potential energy due to the attraction between nucleus and the electron. There again second term is again minus, but the last term is what, e square upon r12. E square is due to two electrons are there, so charge of the one electron is e into e, that is e square divided by r12, which is the distance between two electron. And the sign is, here you can see this, the sign of last term is positive. Okay, why is it so? Because due to this electron repulsion, the overall energy of a system will increase. Okay, so where r1 and r2 are the distances of electron 1 and electron 2 from the nucleus, and r12 is the distance between electron 1 and electron 2. So the overall Hamiltonian, which is consisting what, translational energy or the kinetic energy plus potential energy. So this Hamiltonian is what, combination of kinetic energy and potential energy, and the kinetic energy is given by what, minus h square upon 8 pi square nu into grad 1 square plus grad 2 square minus overall this potential energy term. Okay, so that is the overall like Hamiltonian for the helium atom system, helium atom. So there should be the two electron in the valence shell, so that we can apply the that approximate method for the system. Okay, given system. So there are two types of approximate methods are there. One is the variation method, okay, and the second one is the perturbation method. So there are the two types of approximate method that are generally used for the obtaining wave equation for the multi-electron system. Okay. Now next important theory is the Huckel molecular orbital theory. Okay, so this Huckel molecular orbital theory is applicable for the like planar conjugate, okay, planar and conjugated double bond molecules. Okay, so in short we can say that this Huckel molecular orbital theory is applicable for the those system in which there is a conjugation of pi electron. Okay, there is a conjugation of pi electron, so that we can apply this Huckel molecular orbital theory, and we will try to see the certain various types of orbitals are there, like bonding, anti-bonding, and the non-bonding orbitals. So we will try to see how these orbitals are labeled as bonding or non-bonding. Okay, and we actually try to obtain the resonance energy for the like certain molecules. Like for benzene we can have the resonance energy. So resonance energy is generally negative for the aromatic compounds, and it is positive for the anti-aromatic compounds. So by using certain approximation we will try to obtain the solution for given system. Like we will see the ethylene, then 1,3-butadiene and benzene system, and we will try to obtain the wave equation for this all systems, and we will try to plot the their wave functions, and finally we will find the resonance energy. Okay, so for obtaining the wave functions for the all this system, this Huckel molecular orbital theory has assumed certain uh, approximations. Okay, so this theory has certain assumptions. So what are that assumptions? We will try to see it one by one. Okay, so this is being the empirical method which is used for planar organic compound containing the conjugated carbon chain, which is being linear, as well as for the cyclic system. Okay, so this HMO theory, which is applicable for both cyclic as well as linear compound, but the main condition is that it should be having conjugated system of pi electron, okay, or simply pi electrons should be there. And we all know that these pi electrons are present in the p orbital of a carbon. So this theory has assumed that these electrons are independent of sigma electron, but in actual case it is not likewise, okay, because the sigma electron and pi electrons interact a little bit, and that will affect the overall bonding of the pi bond, okay. But this theory has assumed that the first assumption is like pi electron in the conjugated molecule does not interact with the sigma electron, okay. So this method is being just empirical method, so we will be having the certain empirical values. So the exact values can be obtained only experimentally, okay, but the empirical values can be easily obtained by using this theory, okay. So there are the lots of assumptions are there for this HMO theory. We will try to see that assumption in the next lecture, okay.